this was in the time of those T-shirt shops with the pressed-on lettering, you know, and it was a green T-shirt with white lettering, and I don't know where I got it or who gave it to me or whether I made it or whatever, but it was a shirt that said "shit happens" on it. And when I met Ramesh, I was um, you know, recently out of the bars and drug houses and all of the spiritual stuff I was interested in, but I was always had a nose for the sanctimonious and the you know the self-righteous, and there was there's that is available in lots of places, but particularly spiritual circles. Um, and so there were more than uh, the fair share of people in the Ramesh's talks with that demeanor, and that was just like putting a red flag in front of a bull, and so one day I pulled out the T-shirt out of my closet and went up to the satsang, wearing this "shit happens" T-shirt, and sat down in right there in the front. And Ramesh came in, he sat down and looked around, looked at me, and looked at the shirt. He says, "That is precisely correct." He says, "Shit happens." He says, "Sometimes good shit happens, and sometimes bad shit happens. Shit happens." And I felt vindicated, It was like, yes, And that's, part of what I love so much about Ramesh, that he was very much a man of the world. He was not prissy. He was not sanctimonious. He was not stand apart from, the day to day of the world in any way. And it was that kind of spirituality which really attracted me. That here was obviously a man of profound understanding who was talking about the very essence of life itself, and what to me was the most spiritual kind of discussion that I had ever encountered, and I felt it in my bones. I knew it was the case. And here he was really ordinary. He was really ordinary as a London educated Brahmin bank president can be. He was certainly not ordinary in that regard. He's quite an accomplished, brilliant man. But that was his spirituality, his teaching was directly connected to life itself. And this spirituality was not separate from life. Life, I had up to that point had the image, the sort of the paradigm that there was life and there was spirituality, and you really had to free yourself from your attachment to life to attain this union with the infinite, which was divorced and separate from the muck and the mire down here. And then you would kind of loftily attain to this space of beauty and perfection and goodness and kindness and love and generosity and all the good stuff, and be free. And that was what constituted freedom, was that you were free from the negative, meaning that you didn't have any. All you had was positive. And I mean, it was an appealing idea on the surface. It was an appealing idea. But it set up this horrible division that had to be jumped over somehow. You had to get past this huge separation between this and that. Not that there weren't ample methodologies, available to do that. There were. But in meeting Ramesh and connecting with him as I did, I was introduced to a very radically different kind of possibility of what constituted spirituality. And that the notion that this, the muck and the mire, was as much a part of the spiritual as all the goody stuff, all the beauty and the kindness and the sweetness. It was like coming home. It was like, yes, yes, yes. It's the only thing that made sense to me. It made so much sense to me. It felt so right to me that it had, if it was all one, it had to all be one. That non-dualism really meant that the duality was part of the unity. The duality had to come from something, and it was part of the one. That was the missing piece for me, if you will, that brought it back into the truly non-dual context. And so, should happen.